Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spinner Rack. This is Mars here. I'm here with my boys, Petey and Cal. Say what's up, gents.
What's going on?
Ready to rock.
So we're hearing about this new story from Deadline. Actually, it's all over that the Bond Amazon has officially chosen Amy Pascal from Spider-Man as the new producer for the James Bond movie to come up. Just one movie, but if they do well, it could be more. So the question is, what are you guys thinking about that? So I'm going to pass this on to Cal. Cal, what is your take on this? It's not being run by the Brits anymore. It's being run by Americans from Hollywood. You know, um, and of course, the super producer from the new Spider-Man. Well, I think she's been doing definitely the new Spider-Man series. What's your take on that? How do you feel about it?
Normally, I would say, hey, it doesn't really matter if, the nationality, ethnicity shouldn't matter as long as they do a good job. But this is Pat Bonney from Sony. I would definitely be very precautious, if not afraid. Very afraid.
Petey?
Um, I think if she had any involvement in trying to expand, I think it's the hardest thing to do when you have a property like this because these are his reaction. That's why you see like when Frasier leaves Cheers, he gets a whole different cast of characters to interact with. That's what you have to think about when you're doing it. And this is, common practice for characters moving on to something else. But when we do these movies, we don't really think about having to flesh out all this other stuff. But as us viewers, all we're interested is getting James Bond back on track, right? Maybe this run has been a successful start. When we get to the last, he's trying to stand by his woman, and that's not really from the guy who said he just in the first one of the Daniel Craig saying that he's only interested in married women. To go, it's really far gone. We didn't even get a reason why he decided that he's gonna stick with this woman that he don't even know that had his kid. She didn't even tell him, and he should be questioning. Like, you ain't tell me right away. I need that DNA test. It's DNA. Anyway, the Pierce Brosnan one, those were very successful. They got a little too, as what's that guy? Martin Scorsese said it kind of felt like the amusement park, but they were extremely successful. So you had these runs. So in the sense, Roger Moore, a ton of solid ones, and then we have obviously Sean Connery who started it, where he had to just stop accepting money because they kept trying to throw money at him, and he was like, finally he said, no, I'm not doing it, right? But he was very extremely successful, and when they first got him, and they were first some questions after the first one. They were like, "Well, what should we do?" He said, "Pay the man what he wants." And then when they had some doubts with the Lazenberry, then they paid him even more. He said, "I'm not getting in shape. I'm not even fixing my hairdo. I'm gonna come in there as is," and that one was successful. So you have a thing that's going through many different bonds. Pretty much, there's a few that were less successful, but they're pretty. I guess Timothy Dalton were less successful, but you had this historic franchise, even spoofed by Woody Allen. We want to see the next Bond. We want to see a good Bond movie. That's what we want first. We're not, even though at points, I was interested in, some of the characters and saying this character is strong enough to possibly do something. At this point, that's null and void. Right now, we don't want 006. We don't want 008. We want 007, and we want to see how we go into the next ones. And we can see with the Marvel, under one franchise, it's kind of hard managing multiple things because the soup is getting thin as you spread it out. So right now, Amy Pascal and David Heyman, you guys work on find a new guy, the new Brit for him, and make it be a good movie. And if expansion is down your line, you understand? Did they have an expanded after umpteen movies, or what I say in Brooklyn, oddie movies. You can't decide to expand now. The franchise is the guy. You can't look at Marvel and say we need to expand like that. It didn't work for the Universal movies. They tried to set that up, it didn't work. Spider-Man is still struggling to do that. So you can't decide I want to do a Felix movie. You know, the great name and Money Penny. That's probably some comic books. Maybe you do a side little series, something like that. But it's not. Your movie is the thing. That's what you got. You know, you don't want to be with one of those franchises where you're like, you know, Tarzan, where you keep trying to bring it back. You do good movies, it just doesn't sell for some strange reason. You got it, it still sells. Keep it selling. Pick a leading man that works, that's dangerous. That's the two criteria. Brit is dangerous, you know, and a leading man, and do that. Don't try to worry about that. If you can make a spin-off, but they haven't been anyone's, so don't think of Star Trek, Star Wars. Definitely don't think of Star Trek, because that's already planned that they were different ships, so you could put a different cast, and they made it work. Right now, you're not the British Avengers, where they set up a lot of stuff that you could go into, you know. But so many things borrow from the British Avengers, and when they do these kind of spy, kind of jokey things. So, but this is James Bond. That's what the name is. It's not, you know, MI6. It's not described. Sorry, I've gone on too long. I'm done. Sorry, you got. I'm passing it off. Just do Bond. Sorry.
So it's thanks, Petey. So David Heyman. So let's not knock him. He is a powerhouse in and of himself. So you have Amy Pascal coming from Sony, and she's bringing in the Spider-Man background and stuff that hits. But he's also a huge hit maker. He made Juice. He was a producer of Juice. So that's for one of us going all the way back with Tupac
What
Shakur.
you talking about?
But
The thing with Tupac?
yeah, with Tupac, he made that.
You know that wasn't huge, right?
Yeah.
He
Hey,
might be a favorite of
huge
ours.
in us growing up.
Yes, and growing
That's
up, it wasn't.
but what made him off? What made him huge, though, really off the record, was that he was the producer of all the Harry Potter films, even the Fantastic Beasts, and so that put him like seriously on the one. He
All
was
right, I
also
hear that.
producer on the Barbie. He was producer on Wonka. So this guy, he's been around. He knows what to do movies, and so the fear that he's not going to Bond is not going to be British will be very weird if it doesn't work out. So both of them know how to make successful movies, and they've done it. And of course, they've had other issues, you know. But even though Fantastic Beasts wasn't as huge, it still made a lot of money. He's made more money. He's one of the world's top producers now, and she with the Spider-Man franchise. I think that they're going to take a lot of time and care to get this thing right because Amazon's going to throw the money that's necessary to make sure that Bond is Bond. I read something. There was a BBC comment where people said, "Hey, they're going to make this into another Bourne series of films," and I don't know if that's what they're going to do. I mean, that takes away. Bourne is running away and hiding in different places where Bond is supposed to be larger than life, and he's these crazy locations, super in Monaco, and these super places. So I don't know, but I'm cautiously optimistic. It's going to be a commercial film. I don't know if it's going to be, the old exact James Bond from the old days. There will probably be some changes for a more modern age, but I'm hopeful that with these two guys, with the experience that they've had, and of course the backing, that this will be another successful film. Cal, you bringing that up? You down with that?
I would like to see an expansion of the series like into animation. I think that might be a good road to go. You could do an adult James Bond. You could even do like I don't know, James Bond Jr.
Well, they just did Pennyworth, right? Didn't MGM do Pennyworth like a couple of years ago, which is
as an
basically
animated
James.
series.
No, not animated. I'm just saying in terms of a show, Pennyworth.
No,
You know,
no, I don't want to see any more live action because a lot of that stuff, to be quite honest, is very limiting. And if you really want to expand the franchise, well, then, and this is, I've said it before, you need to get kids involved. Okay. And it's very easy to get kids involved with the cartoon.
it is there. It is there.
And why do you want that, sir?
Well,
Besides the kids?
well, yeah, to help because the kids will be interested and maybe they'll want to see, well, they might actually find out that there actually was a James Bond Jr. series that ran for about 60 something episodes. and I just happen to have a copy, issue number one, newsstand variant, which you can also have for a nominal fee.
I didn't want that bit to be lost in the helping the kids out.
But yeah, it's all for the kids.
James Bond Jr. Okay, I see it now. Wow. You know, wow. That's all I can say. All right, so hey, if you guys have nothing else, let's wrap it up. If you like what you hear, give us a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Spinnerack.
We're
We
out.
are out.
Okay.